Also, a huge story today is Todd Pettengill's interview with All Access. You were talking about this on your Twitter last night a little bit. This thing is brutal. This radio business is fucking awful.
Yeah.
We probably should have moved on from this years ago, because now it's just embarrassing to be part of this.
I'm kind of glad we're out of that portion of radio where people are still doing that interview.
Right. We never did this interview, thank God.
He did an interview with All Access, which is one of the trade
It's a big deal.
sites. And
All
magazines.
Access is a big deal still, and especially the regular radio world.
And that interview could have been taken and just put in a magazine from the 80s or 90s on radio.
Right.
There's nothing new happening there. It's full of the same cliches. The funniest part was reading when him and his staff wake up and go in and leave.
What?
It's like, for that show,
right?
He should be able to show up at fucking 5 minutes to 6, and he winds up like, well, I get in at 3:30. You know, it's
what?
And then he's there until late into the afternoon.
Doing what?
Exactly. That's what I'm reading this going, what is he doing?
Practicing his fake voice in the sales department?
Coming up with the wacky names for the phone calls?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
We talk way more, and I get here a half hour early just because I like to just sit and just chill out.
Yeah.
You guys roll in about 5-10 minutes before the show.
I like to walk in halfway through
Tim's going
ecstasy.
to be yelling. No, it's about 15 minutes.
I was exaggerating for the radio. Tim.
No, I get in about 5 minutes up. That's the answer. Always here when I'm here. I literally walk in. Dun, 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 dun. Hi guys, how are you? I take the hat off and I see that light going outside.
It's outside.
But if you know what you're doing, and if you're prepping the whole day, like as much as we joke about it, as soon as the show's over, I'm starting to think about the next show, and you're jotting little things down, or punching it into your phone, and you're just trying to be aware the entire day. So I don't understand why we would have to be here at 3:30, like he's doing.
3:30,
and then he leaves in the afternoon.
And he's like, and the staff knows what I expect of them.
Oh, what?
He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, the staff knows what I expect of them, and that's everything.
Oh God,
it's the worst. I read this just going, oh, imagine having to be around this fucking motherfucker.
I didn't like the way he did. Opie didn't either. The way he dressed Todd. Didn't that seem kind of shitty?
Scott,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Well, I mean, we could pick our favorite questions because this is a long article, but I think a lot of our audience knows the Scott and Todd show, of course, from Jocktober, and now they've split up, and we're Team Scott all the way because Jim, pointed it out, and we all jumped on board that Todd's the problem.
Yes.
For a while, we thought Scott was the problem, like he was just an old guy that maybe his time has passed, but he's proven that no, he's still capable of doing it, and sounds way better than he did with the Scott and Todd show.
I would love to hear Todd's side of this for real. Like, I would love to ask him what happened. Would it be funny if Scott Todd was really the nice guy, and you said what happened? It was like, every day I'm in the office and Scott would walk in and spit on me. Like, if he has some legit reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard things. He's a little full of himself.
Todd?
Oh, God.
Please give us a short recap on the Scott and Todd era and 23 years together. Listen how he describes 23 years with Scott Shannon. Scott Shannon, who brought him in, by the way. These fuckers.
Yeah.
Scott brings Todd in, and this is the thanks he gets.
Yep.
He would have never made it to New York if Scott didn't decide to bring him in. It was a great run, but I think, like Leno and Letterman, Scott decided it was time to move on and hang up the headphones in the hot AC format. Like the hot AC format is still a young, hip format.
Oh, yeah.
He's turning 70 this year, and God bless him. I only hope to live that long. Doing oldies is right in his wheelhouse.
That's like saying he just deserves to go to the home.
Out to pasture.
Yeah, out to pasture, right.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to.
Home.
But Todd isn't a young guy either.
No.
So what is he talking about?
That really is
I think he's older than us. I really believe that.
Wouldn't you respect him more if they didn't like each other? If he said, look, we stopped getting along after a while, and he went there and I stayed here.
Honesty?
I would respect that, though, if he just said, look, we stopped getting along.
Right.
Like, okay, it happens.
Right. All right, back to the Todd Pettengill interview for All Access. working on my John Sterling.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Almost there.
It's pretty good.
So, what's different about the Todd Show now that readily apparent? So what's different about the Todd Show now that readily apparent? That doesn't make sense, sort of. It's missing something.
Probably an S. Hold on, what are you saying? So what's different about the Todd Show now that readily apparent? It should be that is readily apparent.
Right? Okay. And this is what Todd says as the young kid in town. I think we joke about how young we are. I think it's pretty obvious that we're not as young as we. But this guy is really trying to make everyone believe he's a young go-getter.
New kid on the block.
He did 23 years with Scott Shannon, and he did a bunch of years before that.
Yeah.
It's a faster-paced, more aggressive, audience-first, lifestyle show. It's more visible, topical, and local. In the past, takes another shot at Scott Shannon.
Yeah.
Scott would talk about things he called knuckleheads, which were the weird stories from around the country. Now, we talk about the real stories from our community and the things that directly relate to the target audience.
Do you do that during the phony phone calls that aren't real?
Yeah. Yeah, is that the real? And what is he talking about?
And what's wrong with
stories from the community?
Local New York stories.
I know, but who cares?
See, we were in that world, and when we were syndicated on regular radio, that's how they attacked us. Like, hey, they can't do local stuff, so make sure you do local stuff.
No one cares.
No one cares if you're entertaining. If you're entertaining, it doesn't matter if it's some national story or even just taking a local story and going with it.
Yeah.
So, and those weird stories still work.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they're fucking from.
He's making fun of the fact that Scott Shannon used to do those weird stories. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that get the people talking around the water cooler.
Yeah.
And calling the show, right?
You think people that watch a video on YouTube care where it's from?
Right.
That's not a local video.
You play about 4 songs an hour from 6 to 10 a.m. during the show. Wow. God, I wish we could do that.
Show the audience.
How easy would that be? The guy plays 4 songs an hour and he gets to work at 3:30 in the morning?
Unbelievable.
4 songs is what? Let's say
16 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, knock it down slightly. So let's say 15 minutes, and then you got at least 20 minutes of commercials an hour.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So now you only have to talk for 25 minutes an hour.
Yep.
And they're not even doing that because then you squeeze in the traffic and the weather.
Oh yeah.
When Scott was on the air, he would be doing his True Oldie show at the same time. So many times he would be out of the room and we'd throw in another record. Now it's all about the content. We play the hottest songs in the morning. Who cares? No one cares you play the hottest songs in the morning because they could get it a million other ways.
Right.
So if you're not playing that song, they're going to find it somewhere else immediately, and they're all right with that. You're never going to be able to compete with the fact that people could get songs like that.
I was walking to the Comedy Store the other night. I have a mouthful of food. I apologize, and I wanted to hear what's the song I love? Rusty Cage, but I wanted to hear the original.
Right.
Oh. I just downloaded it on McDougal Street, and I had it in one block.
Right.
Well, you got to do.
This is amazing. Where we are in life,
isn't it? Yeah, instant gratification.
That's a guy out of touch if he's still selling the fact that they play the hottest songs in the morning. When we do artist interviews, we keep it to the major core artists like Bruno Mars and Katy Perry. We keep the talk short and sweet, which means you have nothing to say.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Because if you got something going on, it doesn't matter if you talk for a long time. With strong sound nuggets.
Ew.
Sound nuggets.
And put the rest into our Toddcasts.
The Toddcast.
And other audio and video offerings.
Ugh.
Yuck.
It sounds like a podcast.
Yeah, it does sound like podcast.
The reason why we are, doing this is because this is radio. This is regular radio.
Regular radio.
We obsess about this because this is just being done in every city in the country, and it's just horrible.
There is one thing I do like about this.
Yeah.
They ask him, you're on from 6 to 10.
Right.
a.m., Monday through Saturday.
Right.
When do you all meet for show prep?
Right.
And what time do you arrive, and when do you call it a day?
Right. What's his answer?
The support staff, and I think we should adopt this policy.
What?
The support staff
But we don't have
arrives
to.
at 3:30 a.m. That's what it says.
3:30.
Now, you know, I think maybe you guys could start getting here at 3:30.
You're not going to finish that? Just that part is what you want to instill?
Oh. And we have our first meeting. I like that, too.
Right.
We have our first meeting at 5:20 a.m.
Oh, my God.
Do you think at the end of every meeting they put their hands in the middle and they all go, all right, guys, let's remember, keep it mediocre.
We outline the entire show and then adjust on the fly if something takes off.
Which has
like
yet
the listeners.
to happen.
See, for guys that want to try to make it in radio, because we get those tweets and emails all the time, do not outline your entire show.
Oh,
that is the worst thing you could do, because then you feel like you got to stick to that schedule.
Right.
You got to be prepared. We're prepared. But we're very unorganized. We do not have an outline. We have a whole bunch of little things we could possibly go to. But like yesterday, Ann decided to talk about tin knocking. It came out of nowhere, and it was a great 40-minute segment. But they wouldn't be able to do any of that because they would be panicking that, like, oh, God, we have the funny song segment. Or whatever the
We
fuck.
can't not play it.
Right, because they're expecting the funny song segment.
And then Todd goes, I arrive between 4 and 4:30 a.m.
To do what?
Oh, my God. When Todd is arriving, all full of piss and vinegar, I'm snoozing on me pillow.
Absolutely. Sometimes you're doing the same thing when Todd is done for the day.
He goes, I arrive between 4 and 4:30, and they leave when the job is done.
God, what a pompous asshole.
Some days that's 11 a.m., other days it's 4 p.m.
What?
If the job is to suck, they should leave at 10 a.m. It's done.
We're done here.
That means you got an extremely tired staff.
Yeah.
That is scared to leave early.
My normal day at the station goes well into the afternoon.
Oh, why?
Since I jump into the sales and promotional end of things when the show prep is done. So he what does he put on his?
He takes meetings all day.
His sales hat.
He takes meetings all day.
He takes those meetings.
Walks around the hall and
he
goes,
looks
right,
like a guy that loves a good meeting.
Let me step into the promotional office and see what's going on.
Hey guys, what do we got today?
And Let's
sit down and discuss.
Same as yesterday, Todd. Nothing. Nothing.
They probably watch him come down the 12. Here he comes. Here he comes. Oh fuck.
Right.
I hope this goes quick.
Right.
Hey, what can we do to promote my show? How about we just show a bunch of empty beehives because there's no buzz?
You described the Todd Show as having a whole new vibe, sort of like reality TV on the radio.
What does that mean, first of all?
How does that work? Well, he's going to explain it. We can learn something here.
Thank goodness.
It's honest. No one is playing a role here.
Really? You don't even use your real voice.
We like to say it's real life, real people, and real funny.
Wow.
It's none of those things.
Wow.
It's literally none of those things.
None.
There's no us and them. If you're trying to be something you're not, people could smell it. He did not say this. He says, if you're trying to be something you're not, people could smell it a mile away.
Oh, yeah?
He does 4 prank phone calls a show that are fake.
Right.
Yeah.
That are completely fake. You're not allowed to do prank phone calls, especially on regular radio.
But he's keeping it real.
So how is that keeping it real? And you don't think people could smell that a mile away, that they're all fake and set up?
You think he believes this, or do you think he knows? He's like, oh boy, am I fucking...
He's probably trying to,
bullshitting this motherfucker.
Trying to get a pine tar ball past
Is he doing that?
Past the batter. People only get to know you if you're being you. Oh, God. I don't know why I hate this guy. I've never met him.
Yeah.
I've never met the guy.
We've heard he's not the nicest.
But I think
he's just everything that's...
I feel he's everything that is wrong with this business.
He's every fucking PD that thought they had the plan for us.
I think he's hacky.
Oh, God, is he ever.
Oh, boy. No defined roles. Explain. It's the SNL mentality.
Oh,
he's comparing himself to SNL.
No, he's comparing himself to fucking what's his name?
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels.
What?
Oh yeah, like look at this.
Oh my God! It's
Yeah, right. So his
what? He sits around and he kind of looks at his nails,
right?
You know
and
what I
it's
mean?
like, all right, guys,
all right, come on in. I'm ready.
Entertain me.
I'm ready for y'all.
Bring on the fool.
So he says, my team pitches me content, and I have the final say as to what goes on. So what does he give a thumbs up or down?
Right.
They all know what's expected of them, which is everything. Oh, God.
Oh, man. You think they're just running around trying to please Todd?
Of course they are. If you're only worried about what you do, you're not seeing the whole field. Opening up to make sure everyone knows every job makes it a lot tougher for things to fall through the cracks.
Everyone knows every job. Do you think he's got, like, the producer's got to know about sales and promotion and all that shit and... he's just making people stay much too late.
The problem,
want to go home.
Just be a funny guy.
Right.
Like, instead of all this shit, just be funny.
Right.
And stop doing the fucking fake, phony voice. It stinks, dude.
Hey.
It's not funny. It's fucking 2014. That's an 80s thing.
It certainly is.
Want to keep going? This is kind of working.
This is all I want to do today is read and reread this interview.
Yes.
How do you keep from walking all over each other? We don't worry about it. There's a natural give and take that you just feel. The same way you do at a dinner party. The worst thing you could do is hire people and then tell them not to talk till you point at them. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like
someone
something.
got pointed at.
Sounds like maybe that was Scott's way.
Was that?
But he's a little pussy boy, and he's not brave enough to say that.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that's a Scott thing.
I'll point at you.
I'll point at you, and then you talk.
And you talk right there.
Team Scott, though, boys and girls.
Oh yeah.
Are there occasions when it gets a little loud? Absolutely.
Don't read the next line. Don't read it.
Oh no.
But that's when
I can't hear it.
But that's when the party gets better.
The party gets better. Yeah.
By the way, what old lady says the way you do at a dinner party?
A dinner party?
Who the fuck has a dinner party?
Oh, we like it to seem like a cotillion when we're in there.
You know, it's going great when the dead caretaker spills avocado all over your jacket. It's a dinner party. There's a guy in a bunny rabbit outfit blowing someone else.
Oh,
you know, you really hit the nail on the head.
per second.
If you're trying to sound young and hip, you can't say dinner party.
Dinner party.
No, you don't.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's good.
You want to meet the team, or
you know what?
There's a few things in here, though.
It's
meet the team. Todd Pettengill. My name is on the door, which means it's my fault if we're late with spots.
The men's room.
Yes, and the douche store. the drug store, but douche. It's the original
douche store.
Then you got Monk. He's the executive producer. He's been there 16 years. He's our sarcastic, troublemaking exec producer.
Look out!
Oh, troublemaking.
Look out! He's a troublemaker.
He's never met an insult he wouldn't use.
He wrote that.
Oof.
He's never met an insult. I never met an insult I wouldn't use.
Oh, yeah. Too bad he didn't meet cunt-faced hack boss.
Who uses actors for his phony phone calls, but then says people could smell it if you're not being real.
A mile away.
Right. Monk, watch out, guys. Monk loves to stir the pot and create drama out of thin air.
Oh, God. It's all this cliche shit.
Well, we've never created drama out of thin air.
No.
Not out of thin air.
Absolutely.
Hands down, he's the best, most organized guy I've ever met. He's my right hand, and I love him like a brother.
Hold on, our own Sam, now we have to say, let's say that question was asked of the Opie Anthony program.
Right.
Executive producer Sam has been here for 9 years. He's our sarcastic, troublemaking executive producer. That would actually work.
Wow.
Okay? Yes, but I probably wouldn't say that.
He's never met an insult he wouldn't use. No.
You're a pussy when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
He likes others to do his bidding, his dirty work.
You like to
never
make it a little
stepped in
more vague.
Yeah, the
He never
puppet
stepped in
master.
a pile of shit which he didn't resemble.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Unnecessary.
What?
You don't think that's necessary?
No, not at all.
Oh, you're right here. Sorry.
Yep.
Cooper. Cooper's on the show, too. And
I like Cooper.
And he describes him this way.
That's a her.
That's a her.
Cooper Riley.
Geez, sorry. She's in her third year. Cooper's the only team member with a PhD.
No.
Don't
do it.
All right, this is good stuff.
Don't read the
This is good stuff.
He's putting a little funny in this interview, I'll tell you that.
The rest of us have PH do nots.
What?
She has a PhD. They have PH do nots.
Yeah. What?
It doesn't even fit.
It doesn't work. No.
But she's a tough and honest native New Yorker. She brings a wealth of experience to the show and a hefty dose of reason.
You should have said PhD's nuts.
Right?
God damn it.
You're missing a very important part here.
Oh, shit.
She brings a wealth of experience to the show and a hefty dose of reason, which means she's the whole.
The whole.
Reason. And then he writes, which I totally ignore, because he's a little edgy.
This
Todd guy's a little edgy.
You could try to put him in check.
Right.
But,
you can put up that yield sign, but I ain't stopping.
He's not stopping.
Hell no.
Nobody.
So Monk stirs the pot.
Right.
Cooper tries to keep things between the lines.
Yeah, but Todd's, he won't have any of that.
It's a madhouse over there.
It's crazy.
Perfectly timed, perfectly on schedule madhouse.
Wow. Did you meet Ann yet?
No, I have not.
Ann, he writes, or they call her Annie, you know.
Hey, Annie.
Is our new regular voice. She's so perfectly balanced, so honest to a fault, and talks about things you'd think of but never say.
Oh,
she
boy.
has no filter.
Would it be funny
Dropping
if Annie...
N-bombs.
Yeah. Would it be funny if she really was like that? And he's like, so what did you do this weekend? And they're all like, well, I hung out. And she's like, I took a little black cock on Easter.
You can't tell her, ask her anything.
You can't say that. You got to pull back a little.
She's crazy.
Oh, boy. So she has no filter, which is a challenge for me, but I love it.
It's 8:30 p.m. I'm going to let you guys go home early.
Right.
She doesn't have a filter. I say, how you doing this morning? And she says, not good. I'm on this dog shit program. I'm like, put a filter in place.
You can't teach this, just be you, is what I told her.
Oh, you can't teach this, just be you. Right,
Gotcha, okay. You can't teach this, just be you, is what I told her. I got it, okay. She surprises me every day with her candor. I look forward to getting her reaction to things on the air. They are always oddly, lovingly, unpredictable.
Look out.
We didn't hear any of that shit.
Not a peep of it.
We don't hear anything.
No.
They all just quickly talk because they know they have to get spots and songs in.
Of course. It's the important part.
All right. Is there anything else? Or we're going to
You missed the part where they do Todd. Oh, we said Toddcast.
Tell us about the use of social media.
Yeah, that's...
Sheila Watko directs the show.
Okay, that's boring.
I just like the image of him sitting there while he calls in the staff to entertain him so he could hear something that, he deems a nugget that could get on the air. And
what's the staff saying? I was thinking today at 7:05 we'd do one of your fake prank calls.
I like that.
No, they do something else at 7:05. Oh. It's in the article, Sam.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do my homework.
It looks like you're getting some traditional contesting and marketing,
Traditional contesting.
Oh, traditional.
Traditional.
You said it right, but I'm like, what a hack way that's just hacked.
Yes, every weekday at 7:05 a.m. we give the Friends with Benefits cash code.
Friends with Benefits cash code.
Who the fuck is writing down the cash code?
Well, if you're a friend...
It's Contest Pigs.
Of course it is.
Radio has what's called Contest Pigs.
Yep.
And for some reason, regular radio still caters to those people. Everyone else, most people don't ever fucking call to try to win something on the radio. It's a known fact.
Yeah.
But the Contest Pigs, they got it all set up, and they win over and over and over again. Because not many people actually, try to win these things. Later that morning, we asked them to call. 95th caller, of course.
95th caller.
They win $1,000. Then they get one call to a friend and give them an additional $500.
That's the Friend with Benefits.
$1,500 a day for 8 straight weeks.
Oh, I get it. Instead of dick, you get money.
But someone stole the Friends with Benefits money. I wonder who it could be.
See, it's fugitive.
You know how great it would be if Todd did a fugitive bit?
Oh, stop.
He wouldn't.
All things came together.
What if he enjoyed us mocking him, he would do it. That's the only way.
You mentioned that you personally are on the streets all the time.
He is? He's in there from fucking 4 a.m. until 11 at night.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Are we having a radio flashback?
Oh.
The interviewer asked.
Oh.
Hardly anyone does this to any great degree anymore. Please explain why this is important to you. To be at up to 2 or more local fundraisers a weekend. Oh, my God.
Boy. Oh, is that what he's doing to try to get a buzz? Try to get his name out there?
When does this...
Fundraisers.
When does this radio genius sleep? My God.
My God.
The listeners have choices, especially in New York, where there are literally hundreds of signals. Wouldn't you rather listen to someone who cares about you and your event?
No! Please don't. No, exactly. I'd rather listen to someone that makes me laugh.
Right?
Exactly.
What entertaining.
In the end, if you're making people laugh or making them think or entertaining them in general, yes, of course, you got them.
We can move along. I'd say don't go with the next line. Don't read that. It's not worth hearing.
No?
No.
Oh, God. I can't.
I don't think you should read it. It's terrible.
We get too caught up in the feel and not in the real.
Caught up in the feel.
Let me read it properly. We get too caught up in the feel and not in the real.
What is that? What does he mean by that?
I don't know.
What's the feel?
It rhymes.
I'll tell you right.
It does rhyme.
I'll tell you right the fuck now.
Yeah.
T-shirts on the way.
Oh, God.
T-shirts on the way.
That is a good one.
Caught up in the feel and not in the real.
Not in the real.
In my horrible font.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
You want to talk about voicemail? I don't know. What else should we do here? We're almost at the end.
Let's just keep going. This
You
is
sure?
Wonderful.
Let the records show that Jimmy wants to continue.
Jim Norton's enjoying it.
So you could direct all your hate that this wasn't working towards Jim Norton today.
I love it.
Because I was ready to tap out. Actually, no way. This is too good.
I love it.
You spoke about a voicemail line. So you encouraged the audience to invite you out. Also, explain about wanting to do a WPLJ summer tour with the morning show to do the show on remote. And then even attend block parties.
Oh, you gotta love a good block party.
It started as another way for the audience to communicate with us. They have to know we hear them and care what they think.
Care what they think?
Because we do. They help drive the content on the show. If we get several voicemails about the same topic, it tells us we should be devoting more time to it.
Several voicemails.
About what topic?
What topic are they calling?
Hey,
More phony phone calls.
Hey, the Malaysian Air thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you might want to talk about that. Okay, bye, Todd.
Okay. Just, I know you care about what I think, so.
I don't know if you're watching TV, but there was a plane crash somewhere off Australia. You might want to talk about. Thank you, Todd. Thanks for hearing me out.
That's 2. I guess we should
talk about that.
Talk about it.
What is he talking about?
Wow.
It's also an amazing way to let people get the word out about charity events and shout-outs. And yes, we're planning to be out and about all summer long.
Wow.
We will know what we're planning on doing all summer long?
Huh?
Taking a shitload of time off.
Oh, yeah. Poolside, motherfucker.
And you let us know who's doing better.
Yes.
Friday's off, right around the corner, boys and girls.
Batten down the hatches.
But they're going to be out there all summer long.
He's going to be out there at block parties.
We will solicit listeners to nominate their neighborhoods to have us come out to visit.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Oh, God. You want to go, Jimmy, still?
Yeah, what's the next question?
Expand on your feelings about giving back to the public. You commented that radio has a responsibility to give back to the public.
Does it?
No, you have a responsibility to be entertaining. That's it.
That is all this is about.
Paying it, not serve our ego. Radio has a responsibility to give back to the public, not serve our egos,
right,
but help the community by showing up to make a difference.
That's not true.
It's a lie.
We hear from people all the time. If we get someone writing and saying, "Hey, man, you make my commute a little easier," that's all you're trying to do here in the end. And if you help out a charity here and there, sure, we do that. But it doesn't have to. Yeah, sure. You're just trying to hide the fact that you're not entertaining when these dumb microphones are on.
paying it forward shouldn't be something you say. It should be something you do. I have a responsibility to lead by example.
Oh, God, what a self-inflated fucking sense of self-worth.
And what he should say is the same way Johnny from the Jerky Boys led by example for me. And I took the voice. Thief. And then he goes, it's how we collectively as a show have decided to say thank you for listening.
Oh, God.
Getting involved in the community with our listeners is as much fun for us as it is for them. So that means it's no fun for anyone.
Right.
None fun.
I learn more from them being at those events than I could from reading about it.
Oh, God, this is all fucking bullshit.
No, it's not, because he says.
The listeners don't care to this point.
No, that's true.
Play the hot songs, give me the dumb traffic and weather, and hopefully say something funny every once in a while. That's it.
He doesn't believe this stuff he's saying.
I think he does.
You can't.
Well,
no, he knows this is exactly what you say to make it sound like you're involved.
You missed the next line.
Oh, yeah?
The thing is, it has to be genuine.
Oh.
If you're doing it because you think you have to, you've already missed the point.
I guess I missed the point.
It's a grassroots, small market approach that works everywhere, even in the world's biggest market, New York.
Ah, there you go.
Shithead.
Ugh.
Why do you think you have an advantage as a live and local show over others? Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Maybe he can
Because we're officially
explain it.
competing with the Todd Show.
Time to learn.
Let's learn.
We want to get a lot of New York ears.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And we're doing it very different than Todd. We could talk about the things that directly impact our listeners. If someone in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, or Long Island cares about it, then we can discuss it. I doubt they care about a woman who made the best bowl of soup in Los Angeles.
No.
But so they care about someone who made the best bowl of soup in Patchogue? Yeah. No one gives a shit about the bowl of soup. Enough about the soup.
This passive-aggressive cunt is going back to the Scott Shannon thing from earlier.
What? Really?
Yes, this is the knuckleheads in the news thing.
Oh.
So that was a little shot at Scott Shannon because I guess he was. But I guess he. But, of course, he gets the worst example to really make the bit sound horrendous, because no one wants to hear about the best soup in Los Angeles. I doubt they actually did that.
Even in Los Angeles, they don't want to hear about that.
Right.
It's a bad example.
No, but he's saying we're going to talk like we have real things to discuss here. Scott Shannon, but he didn't have the balls to say it, was the guy that cared more about the best soup in Los Angeles. That's how that should have read.
I think you're right.
You said something earlier. The days of coasting are over. Time for radio to dig in. Tell me more.
Oh, he said that?
There's never been more competition than right now. That's his answer to that. That's it.
Oh, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you get.
Oh, here you go. How do you feel about other music services? Pandora, Spotify, iTunes Radio, iHeart, which Cumulus works with, or even Cumulus own RDIO. Clearly, they have their place, but I'm a radio guy, and I still believe there's nothing like live and local content. I'm aware of them and spend some time with them, and they are great if you want a jukebox, but that's not radio. He's a jukebox. That's the type of show he fucking does. He's in the way of the songs, period. No local flavor. It's why we have to do a better job of painting the picture filled with local references to local landmarks and local events. No one gives a fuck. It's been proven wrong a million times by guys that just do a good radio show.
Hey, look, it's the Empire State Building. We'll be back.
What the fuck? Stupid. Who cares?
Loaded with local references.
Local landmarks.
What a jizzbag. There's nothing worse than local references.
Oh,
hey, it's a new one from Katy Perry. Look, St. Pat's Cathedral. Hey, look, Mrs. B's Needle made a pie. I'm on 8th Avenue. Oh, fuck your mother.
This is annoying. This is what these people really think.
Does he stink on ice?
Local.
What makes radio the most fun for you? Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
Radio's still the greatest medium on the planet. There's nothing like doing it live and painting a mental picture. That's all he has for
That's what he likes about radio?
What would you like to change about radio today?
Oh,
okay.
Uh-oh.
I think at this point our audience knows what we would like to change about radio.
Yes, we'd like to have his microphones to have old dynamite in them. Leaky old sweating dynamite.
Like a good stick of sweaty dynamite.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Oh, look out.
First time he does that shitty voice, it fucking reverberates and blows his head off.
This is what he would like to change about radio.
I love this.
2 things. I'd like to see radio stop attacking itself.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
A broadcast radio needs to stay united and see the whole field. Second, develop a farm system again. Syndication has taken the place of cultivating talent. Syndication took off because there just wasn't enough talented people doing radio.
In the local markets, right?
Period.
Yeah.
And then you had consultants and PDs that, if someone was talented, they kept them down anyway. So
I love this part.
It would be nice for younger broadcasters to have the experience of taking
transmitter readings. Emptying the garbage pails and turning off the lights after the national anthem. Sam Roberts.
I'm sorry.
I think it's time you fucking empty some garbage pails and take some meter readings.
That's
even
right.
though we don't have like a transmitter per se.
Let me tell you about meter readings. Something, I forgot all about. I think we were still doing it in Boston, right?
Yeah.
Not NAW, though, right?
Uh-huh.
We just made it up.
Yeah, you just made them up.
We just made it up.
You pretty much wrote the thing that was in the last post in the book and just kept it going. Let it ride.
You knew it had to be between this number and that number, so every day you're like, you know what? Let's put a 5 here today.
Just change it up a little like that.
Fuck, no one took meter readings seriously. It actually was an FCC thing, I guess, for a while. So he wants young broadcasters to have the experience of taking the transmitter readings, emptying the garbage pails, and what's turning off the lights after the national anthem?
That's like when the station's done for the day.
We've now concluded our broadcast day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Small town radio was the absolute best training ground.
Sam just fucking waltzed in here with his fucking olive oil voice and guinea charm.
Yeah, with his kinky hair. And
He's right. Everything that I've had to learn, I learned from Scorch in Syracuse.
Yeah. Douche your dressing.
That's right.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add? He babbles here, but then he just says, I love all my morning show peeps, and coming to work is fun again. Fun again.
I
see.
You know what that means.
if he hates Scott, just say it all.
I see what's going on here.
That's what I miss.
Team Scott's kicking your ass so far. Make sure you listen to Scott Shannon if you have one of those people meters. We're allowed to say that because we're not on regular radio.
Sure.
So even though you're not listening, just tune that people meter into CBS FM and then listen to us, and then Scott will get the credit.
He's doing very well.
And I think we have a little to do with that.
You know.
Putting a smile on their faces and letting them know we're here and in it with them. It's the coolest damn way to make a living.
Ugh. No, it's not. Getting your dick sucked while somebody films it is the coolest way to make a living.
That's a good one. And then he's got an action-packed picture right there where he's all young and jumping in the air. They're
all jumping.
Some karate kick.
How'd you ever be there with a cliff behind them?
They're all jumping, although the chubby one still has his right foot on the ground.
Yeah,
awkward. And you forgot the bonus questions. What's wrong with you people?
Oh, what happened?
I laughed all through them. I couldn't get through them.
Oh, okay. Bonus question number 1. We're just about done. Don't worry. Hang in there, guys. Peanut butter, chunky or plain?
Oh, not these.
And now, if he had any sense of humor, he would have said it depends on what the dog prefers.
Yes, see?
Or answer with who gives a shit.
Yeah.
Right. And then bonus question number 2, Brussels sprouts or cauliflower?
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a little crazy with his answer. He says, I prefer M&Ms.
Why? What does that mean?
It means that he won't answer that.
He's thinking out of the box, Ant. That's what that is.
He should have said, I prefer asparagus because it makes my urine smell good. And then I give girls golden showers around the station. I would listen to that show.
Yes.
I make them smell my asparagus piss. Oh, he's the worst.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
An ass.
What is Todd's voicemail? Maybe we should call it.
Just make suggestions on topics.
Yeah,
that's true.
Okay, bye, Todd.
All right, thank you. Oh, God, that's funny.
You brought that to our attention. That's a great one, eh?
I read that last night. I was glued to it. It was a real page turner, and I had to post it, and a lot of other people read it and commented on Twitter.
Were they supportive of his interview?
Not in the least.
How did you miss the garbage can?
I know. I ripped the copy in half there, and then I went to throw it in the garbage pail, which
is 3 feet away.
I even leaned over, so it's probably a foot and a half away from my hand, and it just thunk hit the rim and fell on the floor. I could not get it in the garbage pail.
I missed half too. So,
but I hope Sam Roberts will be, taking out the garbage,
absolutely,
shutting the lights off after the national anthem. Fuck, it's 1950.
I do have to say one thing. When we were at AF, and to some extent NEW, it was still cool to hang out at a radio station.
Oh, yeah.
The atmosphere was such.
Right.
Especially after 5 o'clock when the suits went home.
A lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool place to be, and you definitely got a lot of material for your radio show just by hanging out and fooling around a little bit.
The entire building was fixated on a single goal, to be successful and bring the station to number one.
Right. But I swear to you, the worst thing you could do as a young broadcaster is hang around a radio station.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
Unless you could find a Denny Falcone to maybe get some knowledge from.
It's a horrendous place to be creatively.
Yeah.
And there's always the suit just kind of hovering that is going to say no to every idea you come up with.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is get the fuck out as soon as your show's over. And no offense to SiriusXM, it's like this everywhere. I don't know what's going to change that.
I learned a lot more, pounding the pavement outside the building.
There you go.
I'll tell you that much.
That's right.
You got lawyers around radio stations now. You got human resource people around now. We should just have naked women in our office because we could.
Oh, my God.
After the show, we would just hang, have a beer or two, and
crazy.
And girls would come in and just get naked.
Yeah.
You would get fired immediately if they knew that was hard.